All right, in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys how to set up Instagram follower ads from Ads Manager. This can allow you to get 20, 50, even 100 plus new followers a day that you can then message about your service offering to see if you can help. So check this out real quick. This is a diagram of the Instagram follower funnel. This is tried and true. We've been doing this for 2 or 3 years and this thing just works. All right. So we're gonna be boosting some organic posts. People are gonna then follow our account for under $2 a follow. We'll start a DM conversation with them. If they're a good fit, we invite them to a call and we can sign them as a client. Now, these are all B2C prices. So B2C being business to consumer. B2B is gonna be a little bit more expensive. Okay. This is the overview of the funnel. But again, in this video, it's gonna be a little bit different, right? Because traditionally, what I've encouraged a lot of people to do, and I still do this for a lot of people, okay? So I wanna make sure that I'm clear. If you have questions of should I boost this or should I run this in Ads Manager, you can just comment below or you can go to Instagram and DM me and ask questions there. But for a lot of people who are getting started, I will just have them make a post on Instagram, right? And just go boost, okay? If you're a starter and you're spending under $100 a day on these, just do that. That is the easiest way to do this, okay? All you do is push boost, make sure the ad itself or the post itself calls out your ideal client and it provides value and you'll get followers, all right? The strategy I'm gonna share with you in Ads Manager is gonna be more advanced. If you're spending more than $100 per day or you already have a really solid organic following and you don't want this just boosting posts to negatively affect your engagement, okay? And I've seen that subjectively when I do boost a post on Instagram directly, my engagement may drop for a week or two, and then it typically picks back up. But again, if you're worried about that and you just want to do things through Ads Manager, you can do that, okay? Now, before I do share this, like I have seen mixed results with this, okay? Again, if you have questions, should I do it or not, just message me on Instagram. But I have seen mixed results for this. I've seen some people get a ton of profile views with this strategy and no follows. I've also seen people have way better quality of follows that come in and they make more sales from it. So again, test this out. This is a really good strategy to do. One of the reasons I like it the most though, overall, is that I can have, here's just like an example of a client account. I could have 10 to 15 different ads in here, all at, let's say $100 per day or $30 per day. And Facebook or Instagram can find the right people that engage with these ads. So I really like that because I can just load the machine up and say, hey, here are 10 or 20 of my best posts, right? Best posts of all time or best post over the last 6 months for this avatar. Can you find people that resonate with this and are likely to go to my profile? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on my account. Now I'm gonna go back and forth between another account that already has this set up, but I wanna just share with you how to get the campaign and ad set up and running like that, okay? So all you're gonna do is push create, and this is gonna be a traffic objective, right? So you can kind of already see traffic, and this is good for Instagram profile visits, which is what we want to get more followers. As of right now, there's not a way to just optimize for follows. I think that it will probably come in the future, but that is not in existence right now. Okay, you're gonna click on manual traffic campaign, and then you're gonna open, this is the campaign level, right? This is the ad set level where we pick our targeting, our audience, and where the ads are gonna be placed. And then new traffic ad is gonna be the actual ad that we use. Now, for the name of this, I like to use O. O stands for optimize. So I'm gonna go O follow, and you can already see I've got just like top of funnel profile visits is what I'll call this one. And then I'll probably name this, I think I'm gonna leave the date off because I might just keep throwing ads in here. All right, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a campaign budget for the time being because I'm just gonna have one ad set in here, that's it. And daily budget can be whatever your daily budget is. I would probably do between $20 and $100 per day for this campaign. So let's just do it 50 for showing, okay. All right, nothing else needs to be done here. You're good to go. At the ad set level, again, this is where we're gonna pick who's gonna see this ad, the objective that we're trying to optimize for, as well as the placements of where the ad's gonna be. Now, these are follower ads, right? So I wanna make sure that the conversion event I'm optimizing for are gonna be Instagram or Facebook, okay? And then we're gonna come down here, which page is for this ad? Well, we don't want people to go to my Facebook. I just want them to go to Instagram, so I'm gonna uncheck Facebook, okay? And that's gonna be that up there. Let's just go ahead and name this one too. So I'm still gonna name this one O follow. For this one, I will do a lookalike. I already made one of these before. That's gonna be the next section here, is just like this ad is gonna be put in front of. Now, if you guys have been watching a lot of my videos now, I'm definitely going more broad with my conversion targeting, right? So if I'm optimizing for book call, if I'm optimizing for a lead, or optimizing for a complete application, I'm going very broad. I'm not really using much targeting right now, and I'm having that pixel data do the targeting for me because I'm only sending back like qualified leads. So it helps Facebook understand who do I want to put this ad in front of. Now, the problem with this is asking for the easiest thing in the world. Just click my link, right? Click your profile. It's a traffic objective. So because of that, I would not just go broad with this. I would set up a lookalike for this because the click-through rate is going to be so high. And you're only spending, maybe $100 per day max on this one. You're probably just going to have like 1 to 2 lookalikes. They're going to be thrown in together. They're going to be high quality people. Okay, again, I don't typically do this, but for this objective, if you're running it through Ads Manager, I would. So we're gonna come down to switch to original audiences. We're going to switch to original audiences. It's gonna say your campaign score stinks. And again, we're optimizing for such a simple event. We don't want to get crappy people in here. All right, so custom audiences. Again, I'm gonna use a lookalike for this. I have a couple lookalikes that I've created before. I'm gonna do qualified calls, right? And then I'm also going to do top clients. So top clients, and this is and I'm not going to cover how to make necessarily lookalike audiences. If you want to do that, you can just go over here and click make lookalike audience. You just upload a list, and then Facebook will find people that are exactly like that. So for me in here, I'm uploading a list of qualified calls and clients. Okay. And I'm going to turn off advantage lookalike off for the time being. And you can already see just with those qualified calls and existing clients, my audience size is 3 to 4 million. And honestly, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just because I don't want everybody in here. I really just want to make sure this is for people who can actually afford, want to work with us. So for me, I'm probably going to, that looks great. 25 to 45 people who have some money and also are a little bit techie because I do a lot of ad stuff. So boom, there is a 3 to 4 million size audience. I'm just optimizing this for Instagram profile, and we're going to come down. I wouldn't do this. Yeah, don't worry about exclusions. You could exclude people who already follow you, but I don't really think it matters. All right. So we're gonna come down here, and we are going to come to Advantage Plus placements. We're gonna go to manual placements, and we're gonna turn off Facebook, okay? Because we only really want these to go to Instagram. And you can see that dropped the audience by about 500,000 or so, but that's totally fine, right? I just want it to be everywhere. I want more people to come to my profile. All right, so that's all you're gonna do to set that up at the ad set level. Again, it's a lookalike combo. I'm putting in 1, 2, maybe 3 lookalike audiences that are high quality people because I want these ads to be put in front of those people, okay? Turn Advantage Plus lookalike off. And here's the thing, because these ads are asking for such a cheap action, you do have to do a little bit more targeting in here than your traditional campaigns like conversion campaigns, DM campaigns, all that stuff, because if I can only, again, send back pixel data for the best people, I don't have to worry about it. But with this one, you don't. So this one, you don't have as much control because you're asking for such a cheap optimization event to follow. You're gonna do a little bit more old school media buying where we're gonna try to find the right audience or the right ads. And to be honest, this can be exhausting. Again, this is the follower funnel itself. It's a great place to get started, but because of the limitations of this, the ability to scale it, I don't recommend this for people who have $5,000 to $10,000 a month plus to spend. I'd rather just optimize for the action I want them to take, whether it's to buy something of mine or book a call. So I want to be clear here. This is a really cool strategy. It can work really well, but if you have a bigger budget, optimize for the thing you actually want. Okay. So if you hear all that, you're like, hey, I still want to do this. Great. I think this can work still really well if we're trying to get more top of funnel people to see your account follow you, and you pair that again with conversion ads, optimized for book a call, optimized for DMs and stuff like that. That can work really, really well. Okay. So it's still good to have this, even if you are spending more at 50 to $100 per day to get more traffic on your account. Okay. But again, to scale, this is a starter strategy. Okay. Now let's jump over into the ad. Once the ad set is set up in the ad level, this is where we're just going to pick our best 10 to 20 posts we've made organically on Instagram, right? That have done well for us. We want to make sure that all of these posts are calling out our ideal avatar. So only good traffic and good people are coming, right? So for example, if you help CrossFitters, you're not going to put an ad in here that's just a general fitness advice or general nutrition advice, because you're just going to get a bunch of follows that aren't your ideal avatar. Why? Because your ad, the thing that they saw and you're optimizing around, doesn't speak to them. So make sure that every single ad in here is only for your ideal client. If not, you're just going to waste a bunch of money. Okay. So we're going to come down to ad setup. And again, we're going to boost post. Instead of making an ad, we're just going to go through Instagram and we're going to find our recent posts or some of our best performing posts that have done well organically. So like this one here, I posted 2 days ago. It got almost 100 comments. So this would be a really good one to do. And this talks about how a client of ours saved money by using a booking bot in the DMs instead of having a human setter. And, it got a lot of comments, a lot of two-step engagement to where people are interested in learning more about it. So I would pick, that ad, right? So once I pick that post, it's now going to be an ad, right? The full primary text is going to be here. If you hate what this says, then you can just go to Instagram, right? And you can just change the copy here, right? I can push edit, right? And I can change the copy here, but I am not able to change it here. Now, important note here is if this copy that your primary text is non-compliant, then you need to change it. Non-compliant being like, again, are you making a big bold guarantee that isn't compliant with Facebook? Hey, I can help you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks guaranteed, or like in 30 days guaranteed, or get your money back. If you're making those big bold claims and those are not normally compliant, change them by changing them on the post itself, because you can't change them directly here. And Facebook will still reject that ad. Okay. So make sure that is compliant there. And then we're going to come down here, text improvement. I'm going to turn text improvement off, and I want to adapt multi-image format. I would turn that off as well. Okay. So both of those are off. Call to action is visit IG profile. And that's pretty much all you need to do. It's very, very simple. I leave multi-advertiser off because I just want this to be on feeds, stories, and places that will actually grab attention to get the follow, right? So I'm gonna just change this name. So how Nat saved 2K a month, right? So I'll put Nat's 2K month. That's the name of it. So I'm just gonna do that, right? Something that helps you just know what it is, right? And then once you've done that, we'll just duplicate this. And again, we can put as many as we want in here. I would put at least 10, in here. And then we're gonna come back down. We're gonna do the same thing, right? So we're gonna change the post out, looking for something that, again, only calls out our ideal client and is a good piece of content. So this one right here is a carousel ad. Formatting might be off. Just make sure that the formatting looks really good for this. But I'm going to pick the carousel for this one. And then I would just name this 7-figure carousel. Okay. And then everything else would be good here. Go to the next one and just keep doing it. And make sure, like, if you wanted to change all these, again, have the call to action in the primary text to follow for more. Again, I just go over here and edit it. But the whole goal here is I'm trying to provide a bunch of value to people to where they want to follow me for more, right? So that's kind of the play there. For a lot of these, the CTA is to follow for more. Some of the CTAs might be to DM you or comment below, etc. All right. So that's what we'll do. We pick 10 of them. Now let me come back to an account that already has one going, right? So this is a follow campaign. Her daily budget is set at $30 per day. Again, we have the lookalike combo that we're using for this, current clients and make calls. She does have Advantage Plus targeting on. Probably turn this thing off. I'll have to check in with her on quality, but sometimes like after the fact, it seems like sometimes things like get turned on. But regardless, I typically would turn this off if you're not getting good quality. If you're getting great quality, just let it be. If you're not getting enough volume, you can experiment with turning this on and off just to see how it performs with quality. My guess is because this is turned on, the quality could be hit or miss here, okay? And then again, she's got 10 different creatives in here that are all her best organic content. And again, the cool part of that is if I look at the last 30 days, you'll see that there's going to be a distributed amount of spend across all of these. There's going to be, it looks like 2 in here that get the majority of the spend, but the other ones still get some spend. And you can see her cost per profile visit right now is so cheap for these campaigns. If I come out to here, her cost per profile view is at 17 cents. Okay, she spent $352 and has gotten 17 profile clicks. Now, here's a really cool part. If you guys have stayed this long, cool. I'm gonna share with you guys some more advanced stuff that most people don't know how to do. All right, so how we analyze performance for these is we can actually, as of now, this is of September 2025, we can actually customize the columns that we see up here, right? So you can kind of see up here, we just see the basics, which is like cost per click, cost per profile view, all that stuff. Well, if we go to columns over here, we can actually come over here and do custom columns, right? So you can go customize your columns. And then inside of here, we can actually do follows, okay? Instagram follows. So I'm gonna add that to here. And then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna do messaging conversation started, cost per messaging conversation started, and then messaging conversations started. So I'm gonna move those here. Actually, I'm gonna move these to the top because this is like the most important thing. You know what I mean? Because that's why I'm running these ads. I don't really care necessarily about anything else. All right. So those are the main ones, right? And then I'm just gonna delete some of these because I just don't really need them. Results, cost per result. I don't really care about budget. I do care about amount spent. Don't care. Don't care. Okay, fine, boom. Okay, so once you change those columns, now you can just see these really easily at a click, right? So I can see, actually I do want the amount spent. Where'd it go? Amount spent. I wanna change these really quick. You can customize these and save them. So you should save them. Save them as a preset so that you can just kind of see exactly what you want. But I do like having that amount spent right at the top, right next to follows. There's not a way right now to determine what the cost per follow is inside of here. I tried to make a custom one. You can't, but still. All right, so she spent $352. She got 502 followers, and of those, she sent messages out to people who looked like they were qualified, and we got 98 responses. So her cost per lead, or cost per real lead, is $3.60, okay? $3.60. Now, again, if our target for cost per call is $100 per call, right? She's in a really good range, right? If I was to run a conversion ad or a DM ad, I might get a $2 to $3 cost per lead, but they may not respond. Right here, this is the a dollar amount that we're paying for someone to respond to our first message, right? And then inside of here, we can even see, what the cost per result is for these across the board, right? What's the cost per follow? So the one that got the most spend right now has the better cost per follow or message than this one. So now when I'm actually making decisions, like I could come in here and cut things based off of the cost per message, because this one might actually, as you can see, this is a great example. So this one's getting 12 cents cost per profile view. So it has the most profile views, and the amount of follows is actually worse, right? So you can see like this one she should cut. I'm probably gonna message her after this, but she's getting people to click her profile, but they're not following, right? But she spent a lot of money on that. Well, here's the thing. Those that do follow actually has a higher percentage of responding to that message, right? So, and that gives her about $5 per lead. So actually, there's pros and cons to this, right? So it's like, okay, well, cool. The conversion rate of those that follow to actually respond to my intro message is almost 50%, right? But my cost per message and cost per lead is a little bit higher, right? So there's pros and cons, and this allows you to analyze this data. But after looking at that, I'm like, oh man, maybe these people are higher quality. So again, this is the hardest part about messenger campaigns or follower ad campaigns, is you just don't have really good data to see, what's my cost per call, what's my cost per result, all of that stuff, right? So that's how it is set up, right? So very simple way to do things. Again, analyzing the data can be a little bit more of a challenge here because we don't know what the quality looks like. We can't see which of these percentage of people actually go on to book calls, etc. So again, great top of funnel strategy as long as you have clear metrics and KPIs going into this. So for us, our target across the entire campaign or the ad set is the most important. If we spent $352, we should have gotten at least 2 calls booked, if not 3 or 4 calls booked from this ad spend. But again, the best part of this is, again, having all this data right here. Instagram follows, messaging conversation started, cost per message, and being able to make decisions around that. Now, if quality is bad, all I would do is I would just duplicate this existing ad set and put it in front of a new audience, right? And that's the only time I will recommend that. If we're running ads for leads, if we're running ads for booked calls, applications, I'm like really in the trenches with putting it in front of the right audience. But with this one, it actually matters more, again, because we're optimizing for such a cheap event, just clicking a profile. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like this video and you want more just like this, smash the subscribe button below. And if you are a newer coach who's got less money to spend, you're spending 20 bucks per day, and you really want to make sure you have this all dialed in, watch this next video that walks through how to set up a follower funnel just from the boosted profile. Okay, boosted straight from Instagram desktop. Again, that's kind of our tried and true, what we do for most people when they launch. So if you want to see that strategy, watch this next video.